Hello and welcome to Prophetic Ministry Training with Kevin Horn. We are in the Revelation Gift Series. Today's topic is the Word of Wisdom, Part 2. Today we want to discuss how the revelatory wisdom that comes from God will sometimes come to the children of God for a future decision or a future event of redemptive importance. We talked about how there's kind of a present circumstance, word of wisdom, and then there's a future decision or a future event that God is preparing you for. And a lot of the times this has to do with how much processing time there is, how much preparation time, and God is always on time. He's outside of time, so He knows exactly when to give us a future word of wisdom. It depends on our preparation. I think of Joseph when he gave the word to Pharaoh to store up the grain for a famine that was, going to be 7 years away. It was 7 years before it happened. And really, if you think about it, can you imagine a nation that had the greatest economy in the world at the time? And it would be very similar to, just the greatest country getting a message from some person that there isn't going to be enough food to feed your people. So in the next 7 years, store up food, and really the 7 year preparation defied logic. There was no reason to believe that just a simple dream was able to tell anyone anything. Yet the Spirit of God quickened Joseph, and he was able to answer the dream. The Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, realized that God had spoken, and he had to suspend logic and say, well, I know we're 7 years away from this thing. Why store up? It may not happen. Pharaoh was able to discern that it was a true word from God whenever Joseph gave that word of wisdom to store up the grain for the 7 years of famine that would happen later. In the New Testament, we see the prophet Agabus prophesies a famine, and then money was taken up for it long before the famine ever happened. And those are what I would call the word of wisdom, how God gives His wisdom, His heavenly wisdom. His ways and His thoughts are higher than our ways. He gives those little hints that helps us have exactly what we need in that moment. Preparation, what to do, godly wisdom. So stay tuned for the Word of Wisdom, Part 3.